How do you delete a pin on Pinterest? Do you have a pin you wish you could unpin? Or do you wonder, is it bad to delete pins on Pinterest? Maybe you even heard that you should always delete underperforming pins. Hold up, before you hit the delete button, you need to watch this video because there are important things you need to keep in mind because deleting pins is permanent. I even asked you all if you delete pins and the audience is pretty split on this. So hey there, it's Natalie Bardo, your Pinterest coach here. And in this video, I'm going to share with you what you need to know before you hit delete on a pin and share some better alternatives. So if you love Pinterest marketing tips, quickly hit that thumbs up button for me. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel because I've got free weekly Pinterest training coming your way. Okay, so first things first, how do you delete a pin on Pinterest? So whether you're on desktop or using the app, you're going to want to click on the triple dots. The triple dots bring up the edit panel. And then when you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you'll see that delete button is now visible. But remember, before you click delete, it is a permanent decision. So what does that mean? Once you hit delete, that pin is gone forever and it's not coming back. So one important thing that you need to keep in mind, especially if you've heard that you should delete underperforming pins on Pinterest because it's bad for your overall profile. But is this really true? One thing you need to keep in mind is that, especially if you've just posted a pin, it can take anywhere from 3 weeks to even a few months on some profiles for your pin to be indexed and even be found in search results. So that right there exposes the problem with deleting underperforming pins. Say you just pinned a pin to Pinterest and you're not seeing very many views, very many clicks, or very much engagement in those first few days, weeks, or even a month, and you make the rash judgment to hit delete before your pin has even had a chance to be indexed or found by anyone. And also, Pinterest traffic is seasonal, meaning that your pins aren't going to perform 365 days out of the year. Maybe just for a month or a week, it can bring you lots and lots of traffic. And another factor as well is that Pinterest pins live on the platform forever. So maybe your pin isn't going to take off today, this week, this month, or even this quarter. That doesn't mean that it can't take off down the road. So do not hit delete on an underperforming pin. You might regret it later on, and there is no going back or undoing that. So instead of hitting delete, I encourage you instead to move that pin to either a secret or an archived Pinterest board. So you can create a Pinterest board that you're going to archive where you'll keep all of your underperforming pins. And instead of deleting them, because when you hit delete, all of the statistics that go along with that pin also get removed from your profile. So say, for example, you have 100,000 views on your Pinterest profile and you decide to delete one or several pins that have a collective number of views. So maybe those pins had 10,000 views attached to them. That is automatically going to be removed from the monthly performance of your profile. So that's why you want to avoid making any drastic changes all at once, such as bulk deleting pins or deleting pins without giving them the proper time to take off and start bringing attention and traffic to your website. So I know you might be thinking, are there ever any legitimate reasons why you should delete a pin? And there are. So here's a few. Number one is that the pin is either spammy or it got you in trouble. Okay, we've all been there. Have you been caught up in the spam blocker? Have you been following, wrong practices? And this pin that you created is a problem for your account. You definitely want to delete that right away, especially if it's a stolen pin. Like, did you steal an image? Did you screenshot an image and just put it up on Pinterest? Did you take someone else's pin? It's better to delete it now than get in trouble later. So you're going to want to watch this video on the top mistakes that can get you blocked or banned on Pinterest because you're going to want to avoid them. The second reason why you should delete a pin off of Pinterest is that you made a mistake. The most common mistakes are typos. So for example, with this pin, I made a mistake. I was not paying attention and I didn't double check my spelling. And you can see I spelled inspirational wrong. So yeah, I deleted this pin and I went back into Canva, updated it, and then I rescheduled it. So if you made a similar mistake, you're going to want to make sure you take that down. Another reason why you should delete a pin off Pinterest is that the link that pin is linking to is maybe no longer active. Maybe it's someone else's pin you saved and you realize now that it's linking to a spammy site. Maybe that site is loading so slow that if someone clicks on it, they're going to be pissed off, okay? Or another reason is that perhaps that pin is linking to a timed promotion that has ended and it no longer makes sense for that pin to be on Pinterest. If it's one of your pins, you might also want to consider just updating the link to something more relevant instead of deleting the pin outright. So a final reason why you might want to consider deleting pins on Pinterest is that maybe you pinned like so many pins and you're pretty much at the pin limit for your profile. So you want to just cut down on pins. And in that case, I would encourage you not to delete any pins linking to your site or your domain or your offers. Instead, you want to prune pins that are from other people's accounts. This way, it's not going to directly impact the traffic to your website. It might still impact your overall monthly impressions on your account, especially if those pins are doing well. And if that's the case, then don't delete any pins that are getting significant views or significant clicks, okay? So what's the alternative to you mass deleting or bulk deleting pins on Pinterest if you're trying to clean up your profile? So the first alternative I already mentioned, you're going to want to ensure that you add those to a board that you then archive as opposed to deleting it outright. This way, if you ever change your mind or you're ever like, oh no, I shouldn't have deleted that pin, you didn't actually delete it. It's just sitting nice and safe in an archived Pinterest board. And of course, to set any board to archive, you're just going to edit that board and click on that option to archive it. A second option that you can do instead of deleting underperforming pins is to rearrange the pins on your Pinterest board. So say, for example, you have this board that has all these pins and some of them aren't performing or you're not getting clicks. You could just click on them, select them, and sort them, drag and drop them to the bottom of that Pinterest board as opposed to being at the top where you'd want to highlight the pins that are actually getting clicks and performing well. And the third option is just to move on and design better pins. I get it. Sometimes we're a little embarrassed and we're not totally in love with all of the pins that we designed back in the day, whether back in the day was last month, last year, or 5 years ago, and you'd rather not have anyone seeing those pins. But here's the thing. A lot of those pins, even if they're ugly, as we would call it, an ugly pin, it can still perform and get massive clicks. Pinterest loves showing off pins from ages ago. Every time I log on to the home feed, I'm seeing some of the original pins I added back in 2017. So imagine if I had deleted those. They're still driving traffic. So don't worry about it. Just move on and design better pins instead. So don't make a huge mistake by deleting a pin that you'll regret deleting down the line. Use some of those alternatives instead. And speaking of major mistakes, have you signed up for my free Pinterest masterclass as yet? I share the top 3 mistakes you're making on Pinterest without even realizing it and exactly how to fix them today. So you're going to want to click that link and sign up for this free class. You're going to get instant access as well as unlock some special bonuses that you don't want to miss. So there you have it. That's whether or not you should delete pins on Pinterest. Be sure to hit that quick thumbs up button if you haven't as yet. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel because I love being your Pinterest coach. And stick around. You're going to find this video helpful as well. And bye for now. I'll see you in the next one.